You're probably wondering how I ended up like this, with a busted open lip that needed stitches, a couple of chipped teeth, and a bone bruise on my knee. And don't worry, I'll explain everything, but first we gotta start from the beginning. This past weekend were the most recent Pokemon Regional Championships, and they were held in San Antonio, Texas, where I was able to actually attend the event. Now, if you don't already know, Pokemon has a competitive scene for pretty much all of its different main games. So that, of course, includes the trading card game, it includes the video game, and it even includes Pokemon Go. It's kind of just like a giant Pokemon convention because everybody's there for a different reason, but we're all there to have a good time, you know? For me personally, I decided to enter the video game for this weekend, and I built my team kind of last minute, but I was pretty happy with the result. To start off, it was about a 30-minute drive for me, and I decided to park about a mile away from the convention center because I knew it was gonna be crazy packed all weekend. And I'm glad I gave myself like an hour of extra time because it was kind of a journey to get to the convention center. Now, luckily I was smart, and the day before I went ahead and went to the convention center to check in and get all my free gear, all that kind of stuff. I got a cool playmat and also cool like promo card. So basically for Saturday, which is the main day, all I had to do was focus on playing. Now, before this tournament, I had only previously been to one Pokemon Regional, and that was back in like 2014, so it's been a minute.
Hey guys, last week I went to the Houston Regionals. I finished 3-5.
So I kind of went into this event hoping that I could end positively. There was going to be 9 rounds, so I was hoping to go at least 5-4, because to me that would be a big win considering the first regional I went to, I went 3-5. Now keep in mind, I have not practiced a whole lot because I've been busy with work and with school. And not only that, but I put this team together literally 2 days before the event, and I came up with it like 4 days before the event. Like, it was pretty last minute. I wasn't even master rank in the game for the season yet. But I decided to settle with this team because I was a real big fan of Torkoal. I'll have a link for the pace of the team below, but the team consisted of Indeedee, Torkoal, Hisuian Lilligant, Ursaluna, Regidrago, and of course Armarouge. Now, the core of this team is actually pretty popular, and a lot of regionals lately you've been seeing people kind of use this core of Torkoal, Hisuian Lilligant, and then also Indeedee Armarouge. It's really kind of those last 2 slots that are kind of like hard to fill. Now, I will say that Ursaluna is a Pokemon that really didn't do a whole lot for me, and I kind of wish I would have put something else there, but it came in clutch a couple times for me. But that other last slot, Regidrago, really came in clutch for me, and that Pokemon is just really good in general. I noticed that it was really rising in popularity recently at regional, so I had a feeling this regional was going to see a lot of Regidrago, and a lot of people weren't running Twist Scarf, so that's why I decided to run Twist Scarf. Even though this is kind of a Trick Room team, I do have that speed option with Hisuian Lilligant, which is super fast, able to use after you on Torkoal to make that super fast, and then also having a Twist Scarf Regidrago. So for a lot of games, I would have Trick Room up, and I would have Regidrago sitting in the back, ready to sweep as soon as Trick Room ended. And overall, a lot of times I ended up bringing Hisuian Lilligant, Torkoal, and then Indeedee, and also Regidrago. I actually brought Regidrago more than Armarouge, I would say. But overall, this is a really fun team to use. Probably not fun to play against, but I had a lot of fun using it. And again, the core of this team I found from a lot of different versions of this team, and then I kind of added in those last 2 slots to kind of fill in the gaps. For Ursaluna, I was really considering King Gambit instead, but I just ultimately decided on Ursaluna. Now, before I get into the story about how my lip got destroyed and my teeth and all of that, I'm going to give a quick breakdown of all my different rounds. I will have the chapters separated on YouTube, so you can skip ahead if you don't really care about what happened in each round. But overall, I had some really good games. My round 1 was against somebody named Dominic, and he said he's been playing for a little bit, and he's been really enjoying VGC. I forget where he said he was from, but I think he flew like to this event, so I was kind of nervous. I was like, okay, this guy probably knows what he's doing. I don't know how this is going to go. Dominic's team consisted of a Regidrago, of course, like I said, is becoming more popular, and right away I ran into one. He also had Tornadus, Goldango, Urshifu, Ogerpon, and then also Brambleghast, which he did not bring at all. And by the way, I don't remember everything that happened because it's been a few days, so I'm kind of just going off the notes that I did write down. But I remember round 1, he did lead with Drago and also Goldango, and he had Urshifu and Ogerpon in the back. I remember this game was super close, but he ended up taking the win for game 1. Going into game 2, he led with Ogerpon and Goldango. Now remember, I don't know how I actually managed to pull off game 2 because I really screwed this up. He went for Follow Me with Ogerpon when I went for After You with Hisuian Lilligant. So if you don't know, Lilligant usually outspeeds everything, so when you use the move After You on your own Torkoal, it makes it to where Torkoal is going to go next, basically. Now what I didn't realize is that Follow Me has so much priority that my After You went into the Follow Me and it basically failed, which meant that Torkoal was actually going to attack last. Now that really messed me up, but in the end I was able to clutch out game 2 and force a game 3. And in game 3 he brought the same 3 of Ogerpon, Regidrago, Goldango, but he also brought Tornadus this time and he left it in the back. If I remember correctly, game 3 wasn't like super close and I was able to clutch it out, but yeah, overall I got a round 1 win. I was very happy. He was a really good player as well. I see that he finished 6-3, which means that he was 1 win away from making day 2. So at this point of the tournament, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm 1-0, what can go wrong? And then I see that I'm paired up against Justin Ting, the guy that has his own wiki and has won like multiple regional championships. Yeah, that guy. Now, if you want a detailed breakdown of his team, I believe he did play on stream a few times over the weekend, so you can definitely check those out on the Pokemon channel. But again, he brought Regidrago as well. So at this point of the tournament, I'm thinking, yeah, I made a pretty good call bringing Regidrago. I didn't write a whole lot down for this one. I know I lost 2-0 to Justin, and both games were like kind of close. I do remember game 1, I went for like a pretty hard read, and it didn't really pay off. He led with Regidrago and Ogerpon, and if I remember correctly, I led with Torkoal and Hisui and Lilligant. I went for close combat, and he used Follow Me, so it brought him down to about half. And then I protected with Torkoal because I knew he was going to go for Dragon Energy, and of course I knew I was going to live that because I had Focus Sash on Lilligant. And then turn 2, I was thinking there's no way he goes for the same thing, right? He's going to switch out Ogerpon or he's going to protect. So that's when I went for After You and Eruption, but unfortunately he went for Follow Me again and really just screwed me up for the rest of the game. So yeah, he got a pretty solid 2-0 over me, really good player, and I was happy to just do well against him considering he made top 8 at this event. Round 3 was against a player named Brian who brought a Trick Room team, and he led with Iron Hands and also Ursaluna. I know he also had a Sinistcha and a Chi-Yu and also a Regieleki, but I don't remember what his 6th Pokemon was. If I remember correctly, game 1 went by pretty fast. I was able to clutch out game 1, but I know game 2 was extremely close, and it's only because of his Sinistcha. Basically, his Sinistcha was the last Pokemon, and I had 3 Pokemon left, and I almost lost the situation. I remember all I had left was like Indeedee, another Pokemon, and then I had Regidrago, but his Sinistcha was Terra Fairy. So basically, it kept burning everything and kept recovering, and I could not do any damage. But in the end, I was able to barely clutch it out, winning the round 2-0 against Ryan. Round 4 was against a player named Alberto, and he ultimately went 5-4 at this event. And to be honest, I kind of just got destroyed in this round. Like, his team just countered mine pretty hard, I feel like. He had a Rillaboom, which was kind of hard to play around grassy terrain, considering I rely on psychic terrain. But the real big problem was Heatran, which kind of just sat on the field. And it's really ironic because before this event, I was talking about how good Heatran was, especially just like leftover, substitute, Terra Grass. And that's the one Pokemon that gave me the most trouble at this event. So yeah, pretty much he would just set up grassy terrain. His Heatran would just sit on the field all day, and I just had no way to really kill it. Round 5 was against a player named Eric, who I believe has been playing for a while. And I think with this one, he just made some mistakes. I mean, he even said it. He got kind of frustrated because he was just making mental mistakes. He went for stuff like Fake Out when I would set up Psychic Terrain, and it just kind of screwed him up in general. Overall, 2 pretty solid games in this round. I would say that game 2 was like not super close because I kind of just got a rolling start and there was not much he could do. But still a really good win for me. I was feeling pretty good because at this point I was sitting 3-2. Now in order to make day 2, you have to go 7-2, so I knew that it would be kind of impossible, but I was hoping to go at least 6-3, maybe 5-4 if I could. I really just wanted to end positive and get some championship points. So at this point I was heading into round 6, playing against a player that goes by BK, and I believe he said he was from Georgia, and he actually had a Roaring Moon team, which I thought was really going to give me trouble considering that I rely on stuff like Expanding Force. Now I believe it was this round where I lost game 1 because of a double protect. So basically I had Trick Him Up. I was pretty much set to win. The only way he could win was with a double protect, and he actually got it, and that ended up winning him the game. But that's okay because I remember in game 2 I got some hacks, going my way, and I was able to clutch out game 2, forcing a game 3, which I was able to win. So I ended up winning the round 2-1 against BK. Alright, so at this point there's 3 rounds left. I'm feeling good, but realistically I know it's hard to win 3 rounds in a row, and this is where it kind of goes downhill a little bit. Round 7, I play against a player named Jeffrey, who actually ended up making day 2. I think he went 9-5 overall. And similar to my round 4, he had a Heatran, which just absolutely destroyed my team. His Amoonguss also lives my Terra Dragon Energy from my Regidrago, and that kind of surprised me, so that's kind of my own fault for, I guess, not calcing that. But yeah, it kind of just gave me a lot of trouble. So he won pretty dominantly against me, like 2-0. So going into round 8, I know I'm officially eliminated for day 2, but I still want to finish the event strong. And of course, in round 8, I get a taste of my own medicine because I faced Kendall, who was running an Indeedee Armor Rouge team. Now this was a pretty close round that did go to game 3. Game 3, I lost pretty convincingly though. Kendall had an Azumarill on the team, which you might think is like not the best Pokemon, but it countered me pretty hard because it kind of made my Regidrago useless. And overall, I'd say I just played really bad against Indeedee Armor Rouge. I feel like having not practiced my team a whole lot, I didn't really like practice playing against it, so that's kind of my own fault. But yeah, Kendall just ended up playing it a lot better than me and ended up taking the win. And that leads us into round 9, the final round. I am 4-4 at this point, looking for a 5-4 record to end positively for the day. And I go up against Steven. And I have to say, this was the most fun set that I have played. It was like so close. Like each game that we played, it went 3 games. Each game that we played went down to the wire. I'm talking like it came down to flinches, it came down to damage rolls, like it was like super close. And the way that I clutched out game 3 was my Torkoal surviving. I don't remember what actually hit it, but I remember that I survived with literally 3 HP. It was super close. I ended up clutching it out, and it was a great way to end the day. Yeah, overall I finished 5 and 4 at this event. I finished 153rd out of over 500 players, and I was able to pick up 30 championship points, which was pretty solid considering it was my first event of the circuit. So overall I was feeling pretty good to end the day. I was happy with how everything went. I was looking forward to Sunday because they had like side tournaments I could enter to get some more championship points. I was feeling pretty good, and then everything went downhill. So to put this into perspective a little bit, I forgot to mention this, but this is like kind of I guess an important part of the story. Not really, but kind of. So earlier in the day, I was checking out all the booths that they had because they have like a bunch of different, trading booths, and we can trade cards, sell cards, buy cards. They have plushes, they have all kinds of stuff there. And for the longest time, I've had this Gold Star Black Charizard card. It's like super rare from back in the day. I've just had it forever, right? I got it from somebody when I was a kid growing up, and it's like my most prized possession card that I've ever had. And I know this card is worth a lot of money, right? And I kind of just wanted to see like how much, they would offer me for this card. Now keep in mind, it's not in the greatest condition. One of the corners is like kind of bent. It's got a pretty bad bend on the corners, so it's by no means in great condition, but I know it's still worth a lot because that card in general is just hard to find. So throughout the day, I take it to a few different booths to see what everybody's offering, and one booth gave me a lot more of an offer than the other booths. I'm not gonna say the exact amount, but let's just say it's over $500 in cash. I was really debating, like, should I sell this card? I've had it for so long, like, it means a lot to me. But then I really thought about it, and I was like, well, it's just gonna sit in a binder, so I'm gonna take the cash. That's a lot of money, right? Now, while I was at this tournament, I tried to deposit it because I found an ATM, but it was only like for withdrawals, so I couldn't really deposit the money. So I kind of had that cash on me until I was able to, get home. Now you might be wondering, like, how is that important? What did that have to do with anything? Well, do you remember at the start of the video how I said like I parked like over a mile away from the convention center? Yeah, well, the tournament ended at like 9 o'clock and I kind of had to get back to my car, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was so crowded. Like, I've never seen downtown that crowded. There was cars everywhere. Like, I was thinking about calling an Uber, but there was no way that Uber could even pick me up because it was just so crowded over there. So I was like, regardless, I'm gonna have to walk like half a mile to even call an Uber, so I might as well just walk all the way back, right? So there I go, walking back, and I'm not really worried because there's people around me, obviously, and I'm not like walking around holding money in the air, you know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of like trying to hurry and get back because, like I said, I have a lot of money on me and I'm downtown, and there's just like a lot going on, right? Like downtown, there's always stuff going on. Well, after about like half a mile, like it just starts to clear out a little bit more. There's kind of like nobody really around, so it's just kind of like dark, downtown. I'm just trying to hurry and get back. I'm walking and I'm about 4 minutes away from my car. Like, I'm looking at my GPS. I'm pretty much right around the corner. And like the area that I was at, there was like a lot of construction going on. So like there was really nowhere to kind of walk. It was just cars going through, nowhere to really walk, just a lot of construction, right? So I decided, you know what, let me like walk a little bit further down, and I'm gonna cross where there's no cars coming because the road's blocked off. Well, right before I cross the street, I look both ways, make sure that there's nothing coming, right? I try to cross the street, and for whatever reason, I don't know what was there. I don't know if it was a net. I don't know what it was. My foot got caught on something that I did not see, and like I was falling because it got caught on that, like it tripped me. And so yeah, I tripped, and like while I was falling, I was trying to like move my foot so I could brace myself, but whatever my foot was caught on, like it basically just made me fall faster. And yeah, I basically face planted into the concrete. It was very, very painful, and I basically just got up, and I'm not gonna go into details about everything, but I drove myself to the ER. They had to give me a stitch for my lip. I also bruised my knee really bad, got a bunch of like scrapes on me, and I also like hit 2 of my teeth, which I'm gonna have to get fixed here soon. So yeah, overall, not the best way to kind of end off like what was a pretty good day overall. And yeah, that pretty much ruined the plans for Sunday. So that was pretty much it. That's all I had was Saturday at the regional. And it sucks because really on Saturday I spent a lot of time playing, and my plan was to record a lot on Sunday and kind of put that together in a vlog, but obviously that didn't happen because I didn't get a chance to go back. But on the bright side, it could have been a lot worse, so I'm just glad that I'm okay now. I'm already healing up. My lip is like almost healed up already, and I'm doing a lot better. So long story short, I'm really happy with how this regional went overall. I had a lot of fun playing and competing, and it really kind of motivated me to keep playing VGC. Going into this event, I started learning the TCG a lot, and I was playing that a lot, and I kind of, I thought this would be like my last little go at VGC, and then, I'm just going to focus on TCG entirely. But honestly, I'm having a lot of fun playing both, so I really plan on doing a lot more VGC content for the YouTube channel, and kind of entering like online events. And then of course I plan on entering a lot of local TCG stuff, just because there's a lot of stuff in my area for that. So even though it was a really bad ending to my weekend, I did have a good time at the event itself, and I'm really glad that I decided to go, and I got to see a lot of people that I've met before, so it was a really cool event overall. I'm hoping to make it out to a couple more events this year. They're obviously going to be all out of state for me, so I don't know what I plan on flying to. I think definitely NAIC, I'm going to try to go to that in the summer, but maybe one more regional before that too. Let me know in the comments if you had a chance to watch this event or if you actually went to the event itself, and let me know if you're interested in seeing some more VGC content, because that's definitely something that I'm interested in bringing to the channel. I'll get back to uploading videos regularly as soon as I'm healed up and good to go, so for right now I might be a little bit slow with that, but I'll be back, no worries. I'm super excited to continue growing the YouTube channel over the next year. It was a great year overall this year, and I'm just excited for 2024. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel and go ahead and leave a like on this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you in the next one.